Fantastic. How we doing, Josh?
I'm good, man. Good. Just,
Awesome.
Saturday morning, been up and active, about to get into some work after this. So, you know how it
Awesome.
is.
Awesome. So we're good for a quick 30-minute interview?
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Fantastic. So I'm sure you know you're one of our top fitness clients right now. So just to kick things off, I'd like for you to dive a bit more into what you do exactly and how your business model works right now.
For sure. So, I currently have sort of two sort of running business models. So I have a low ticket option, which is, I'm an online fitness coach before anything. So personalized meal plans, nutrition plans, training plans, accountability, goal setting, that sort of stuff. So I have a low ticket model, which is a subscription based model that clients would pay weekly for updated meal plans and stuff like that. And I also have a high ticket model where people do, sort of a 4-month program where I take them pretty much through goal setting, accountability, teaching them how to eat the way they want and all that sort of stuff. A bit more of an extensive VIP sort of option, but they're my two sort of running coaching options at the moment.
Got you. Next question is, what problems were you facing prior to working with us in the team at Growthology Agency, and why did you decide to invest with us?
And to be honest, I honestly just sort of started out. I think I'd only been doing it for about 6 weeks or so. So like I pretty much had no knowledge of, selling. I didn't know. I just thought that put out content and like sales would come. Which to an extent it is true, but I didn't really have a plan in place or, strategies in place of the things that I needed to do to bring on more clients. So the reason why I just sort of took the leap, and I know Renzo will probably remember, I was very skeptical. I was a little bit hesitant, but I just thought, you know what, this guy understands my situation, and I think he's confident enough to know that he's not bullshitting. So I just thought, you know what, sometimes you got to risk it to win it. So jumped
100%,
in.
100%. So prior to working with us, like you just said, you didn't have much sales experience or branding experience or marketing experience as well. So within the past few months of working with us together at Growthology Agency, what have you achieved?
Well, man, when I first came on with you guys, I think I had maybe like 4 or 5 clients. Right now, I have over 60.
Fantastic.
And I was sort of stuck on, I thought that the only way to do it was to scale a low ticket option. But I know now that the quickest way to scale is through high ticket clients. And I'm up 400% at least on business. Like, so I was making probably 2,000 a month then. And I like this last month, I've made over 8.
Love
Fantastic,
to hear it,
fantastic. Almost at that 10K mark.
100%.
Yeah, almost.
So you said like you were really struggling with like sales and like really just knowing how to sell your program, right? So like what was like back then, like before, like really, or I'm not like selling, but like really being able to get your name out there, get more leads, right? So like what was like the impact of that? All right, say it real quick.
Oh, sorry. What was the impact of not knowing those things?
What was the impact of like not having the systems that we gave you like way back before?
I didn't know any better. So I just thought that what I was doing was right, but I couldn't really work out, okay, I'm doing the things that I think are right, but it's not sort of transferring into, sales, leads, conversations. So I think that if I hadn't have done it, I would have kept going in the same direction and gone over and over again and expecting things to happen without actually proactively making them happen.
100%. So like how much time are like you spending on your business without really making things happen?
I couldn't even tell you. Like I was like 70, 80, 90 hours a week. Like really, like every single spare second I had, I was doing it. You know what I mean? I was working a full-time job at the time as well. So I was up at 4 a.m. working for a couple of hours before going to work. And then I'd work. And as soon as I'd get home, I would work through till 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So it's pretty
Got-
full on.
Gotcha. And since working with us, you're full-time on the business now, correct?
Yeah. So the last probably 2 months, I've quit all work, and I'm 100% in on this. Yeah.
Gotcha.
go.
I love to hear it. So like, what were like the top like 3 things you would say out of Growthology that really helped you hit that 8K a month, and also just quitting your job? What would you say like the top 3 things?
I think above all, it's the strategies that you guys teach in how to start conversations. Okay. So like for guys and for people starting out in business, especially, like I'm a fitness coach. I love fitness. I don't necessarily love messaging people and having those conversations. So it's learning those things that allow you to start the conversation. So like I would never knew what a spear was or a 5-1-3, or the case study sort of model. I never understood those things. So learning those things, which are obviously lead generation, conversation starting sort of techniques, is more than anything what's helped me get there, because I just expected people to come to me, but I know people don't do that. People aren't going to do that very often. You need to be the one that goes and starts those conversations.
Exactly. So like before learning those strategies, right? Like the 5-1-30, the spears, and everything that we taught you to generate those conversations. How many conversations a day were you generating? And then after you learned those strategies and you started implementing, how many conversations were you generating?
I wasn't generating any really, like maybe a couple a week, something like that.
Yeah, I got you.
And now, like I wish I could show you my inbox. Like I can't get through. Like I can't get through the volume anymore. Like I'm almost at a point where I'm ready to, bring someone on to do my messaging and stuff for me. So
That's an account manager.
100%.
Yeah.
That's awesome, my man. And so like, how many more calls were you booking, right? Like obviously your main conversion tool is booking the calls. So like, how many more calls were you booking once you learned the strategies?
It's unquantifiable. Like it's tenfold. Like, you know what I mean? I might have been on one or two a week, and then like I was getting to the point where I just didn't have enough hours in the day to sort of keep up with them. So I was having to put, people were waiting a week or so for a call.
100%. We can talk more after this interview about how we can help you with that. But while speaking of the interview, right? So now that you had all those leads, you had those conversations, way too many conversations for you. And like, you're now at like 8K a month, you quit your 9-to-5 jobs. Like, what's like the big impact of that for you? Like out of everything you achieved, like what has hitting 8K a month and quitting your 9-to-5 done for your life?
I would say this is a bit of a weird one, but my version of success used to be having so much money that I didn't have to work on a weekend, or there was no difference between my weekend and my weekdays. But now, my version of success is loving what you do so much that you don't care whether it's a weekend or a weekday. And like right now, I'm waking up absolutely loving my life, loving my job, because I'm able to be free, financially free to do what I love. And I know without going through this whole sort of process, I wouldn't be there. So
Love to hear it. So next question, 1 through 10, how happy are you with the investment you made with Growthology Agency?
To 10 out of 10. I would honestly still be doing what I was doing if I didn't, take that leap. And I probably, to be honest, I mightn't have even kept going with it. So no doubt in my mind, I'm happy with what even though at the time it felt like a lot of money, but like it pays off tenfold. You only have to sign a couple of high ticket clients, or you only have to sign 1.5 high ticket clients, and it pays for it. You know what I mean?
And how fast did you make your return on investment after you paid the initial invoice with us at Growthology Agency?
I think it was within the month. I can't remember exactly, but I think it was within a month. Yeah.
100%. And then you remember you said like you couldn't really afford it. You didn't really want to invest money up front. Like you kind of wanted to get results first before investing in us. Do you remember what I told you that really just like sealed the deal and helped you take that leap of faith, invest your money for?
I can't remember. I know it would have been something smooth. I can't remember something about.
Yeah, what was that like that mindset switch for you where you realized like, yeah, like I do have to invest money up front. I am gonna make this work. I am gonna commit.
I-
What was like
I
that?
realize that in order to make money, you have to spend money. And in order to get different results, you have to do something differently. And it's scary. I knew that it was scary, but I've also taught myself to the thing that seems scary is probably the right decision.
100%.
100%. I mean, like I always say, scared money don't make money.
That's true.
Yeah, and this question is more so for like market research, but when you first hit our first contact point, I don't know who closed you or who DM'd you first, but when you first heard about us, was there anything that really held you back from pulling the trigger?
Or like what was like making you hesitant about joining us? Like when you heard our offer and you knew the price point, you knew about everything about the offer. What was like holding you back?
I think it's just the initial investment, like right now I would have zero like worry about spending money, like, because I know there's going to be an ROI. I think it was just the fact that I was new to the whole sort of the game. And it was just a little bit of fear based on not actually achieving the results. And I think it wasn't the fact of what you guys were saying. I think it was a fear on my behalf, knowing like I was fearful that I wouldn't actually be able to produce the results that I have been able to.
Got you. So having worked with us for a couple months now and us taking you to the next level, what would you say to somebody who's on the edge about signing with our agency?
I think what I would say before is that if you don't do something differently, you're not going to get different results. Okay, what you're doing isn't working, or you wouldn't be on the conversation in the first place.
100%.
So if you need to do, if you're serious about making it in terms of whatever endeavor it is, you need to be serious about growing, and you have to make money. You have to spend money in order to grow, because like I said, you're not going to change by doing the same thing you're already doing.
100%. And the very last question that we have for you is, what would you say is like the number one favorite part that you had about Growthology? Doesn't even have to be about the program, it could be about the experience, coaching.
I think it's the fact that everyone is rooting for you. Like, people know that the world is abundant no matter what it is, and everyone's sort of, rooting for you and really backing you to try and succeed. And I think it helps you with a little bit of a team sort of morale environment, knowing that everyone's sort of in your corner backing you as well.
100%. Our whole core value in starting this agency was family first, and we wanted to embody that entire core value into the company culture. So I'm glad that that's the one thing that you mentioned. And then is there anything else that you wanted to add on to tap it off?
Not really, man. I'm like I said, you guys have helped me a lot. I know that I wouldn't be where I am today or doing what I am without, first taking that first leap. So I do appreciate it a lot.
100%. Super glad to hear that. And the best is yet to come, brother.
Exactly.
For sure, man. For sure.
Exactly. If you want the same results as Josh Burmo, if you could look him up at Josh Burmo _ if you want to DM him about any questions about us, feel free. But if you want to see the same results as Josh, you want to hit 8K a month, quit your 9-to-5 job, feel free to shoot me or Abraham a DM on Instagram, and we'll get you all the details about Growthology.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to